people back here or people back here with people up here. These people will
Yeah.
obviously die.
So we just play our heals on point, pretty much. Like we just chillax, take
Yeah,
that
I mean the only
space.
other time that I'll back up if their medic dies is if we have good kills and I want my medic to play over here. Your medic for like an anti-sac should really never play here ever,
Okay.
because you have like more maneuverability back here. You can
Like they can
surf the
kite.
cliff.
Yeah.
Like you can hide in house. Like if they're sacking, you could just like hide in here for a sec and have someone cover this. You can go behind porch. You can get the cliff pack, like all that. But if you're in main, it's a lot harder to dodge spam. You can't surf because there are these walls and this shit here. Spy can decloak on you here, or concrete, or China, whatever.
Hmm.
So this is just not good. And you also don't really have a lot of vision. Like here, you can't really see anything versus like if you were over here, we could see a lot more.
Yeah.
So whether their med dies on mid and you guys are playing for them to bait for your or to sack for your medic or whatever, or if you have full ad and you're playing for a sack, we should never be playing over here.
Okay.
So yeah, if you've won mid, um, and you're gonna like play forward, I guess. Usually it's better to stack like main and concrete than it is to
Hmm.
sit in dog bread. So if we're gonna play forward but we're not forwarding to their spawn, I'll just do this. So your demo will trap off main, your demo and your medic and pyro will pretty much like all sit here. And
Yeah.
if their sniper goes cliff or whatever, your medic just kind of has to just sit here. It's
Just
unfortunate,
yeah,
but that's
put his
just where he
dick
has to
there.
sit.
Okay.
Um,
When should we play on dog grid? If we're at the point.
uh, if you're gonna like meet them left, I guess, but like you don't have to do that. Like dog bed is just situational. So if
Okay.
their sniper is like cliff and you want to just play on the left side, then that's fine. You could just do that. But that's like if he's already there by the time you're moving, because
Hmm.
you don't want to move in front of him to get over here.
Yeah.
But normally this is just kind of bad because like he can see you from grass, he can see you from porch, he can see you from behind porch, and he can see you from China. So
Yeah.
unless you're a spy, sniper, or soldier are live, the only person that can shoot at it is your demo. So if their sniper is just looking at you, you just have to like sit in a straight line and just shoot him
And
if
then
you can.
get farmed by him. Okay. Yeah.
Um, but that's why it's
For,
better to stack right side. Is another problem with dog bread is you're leaving your flank alone. So they can get their main for free and they can push concrete as far
hmm.
as they want.
Just fuck
But
our flank.
if you stack main and right, we'll have like our pyro demo medic play around here. Your medic can like play on the rock if they want.
Hmm.
Your scout can just like orbit around wherever. Like he can just jump back and forth on the rock. He can spot their
Yeah.
cliff. Our soldier and our heavy can just play close concrete. Like your heavy can play up here on this thing. And then your sniper can play on the pallets if they come cliff or porch.
Hmm.
Um, so this way, the beam is closer and our combo is closer to help the right side a little bit more. So our flank doesn't just get like totally walked all over for free. We can stuff main, we can stuff concrete. We can still pretty much stuff China because they can't really see anything, but our demo can still spam it. And then basically like we'll have like a mini here, or your NG can put like a mini here. So then
Hmm.
the only way that you can really stop sniper is just your spy, scout, and NG have to just play to spot him. So if their
Hmm.
sniper's going cliff, your spy should call that. Your scout can like pepper him on the rock or whatever. Maybe your soldier, if he's not being fought in connector, can like
Hmm.
bomb around and land on their sniper. Plus you have your spy.
Okay.
So it's really on like your flank to like coordinate where their sniper is going. But obviously, if he goes main or concrete, he gets rolled. If he goes porch, you guys can just play here. And if they start coming through slope, instead of having to walk over here to meet them, just like shoot over the rock. Because you'll have your
Mm.
pyro, your scout, like your pyro and scout can just like play here. They're still peeking your sniper the whole time. Your NG can just
Yeah.
back up, and now he can just spy check for your sniper.
Hmm.
And then if you're gonna meet them on porch, like you can just do this. So this way, like you can do damage blind without having to see them,
Hmm.
but your scout, pyro, sniper, whatever
They
are still
all
forward.
yeah, they're all peaking like
Um,
so I don't like yeah,
and
so
that's the
Demo doesn't
same.
die.
That's the same case for cliff. If they're coming cliff, it's just very easy to do that because they're sitting in a sniper sight line, and once they drop into pocket, they're getting rolled by like 4 classes.
Okay.
Um, the only time that I would not be having your concrete close during this is if it's going to be an exchange, because
Hmm.
you want them to take it in the post. So like if it's ever even Ubers and it's going to be an exchange, you don't want your concrete players on concrete in that exchange. You want them to push it when it ends. Because if their Uber is going on and
Hmm.
they're looking at shiny players just as you are, they're just going to shoot the non-invincible people, which is going to
Yeah.
be your concrete players.
Yeah.
So really you're better off just having your concrete players play passive and just take concrete in the post with your demo or your
Where should they
spy
stand?
or whatever. Um, because especially if you guys are like forwarding like main and concrete and
Hmm.
they come slope and you guys exchange here, they can just take their Uber and just shoot at these people. And now they're getting pinched because they're getting shot up by the Uber players and players in main or players on concrete. So when the Uber ends, you think you have space, but now they have people rushing concrete, and your concrete players are like 3 down. So if anything, you end that exchange worse. You know what I mean?
So they should just play like during those exchanges. They should just like play on our concrete.
Yeah,
Like,
if it's going to be an
okay.
exchange, you want them to play for the post. That's really how your entire team should play. So if
Okay.
it's a trade, they should just play back here. If it's a
Let's-
trade, this way, like your heavy doesn't require a flash. He can still sit here and he can help spy check for your sniper, and your soldier can just back up and play like this. So when the Uber ends and you guys can, get bows or crittles or whatever, you guys can instantly walk through connector. You don't have to be this passive, especially if your team is playing up on point. You want to be close enough to help them.
Mhm.
Like you don't want to be like back here if your teammate's exchanging into them,
Yeah.
or like up front. But really, like if your concrete players just don't want to die during the Uber and they don't want to require a flash so your Uber is shorter, just like play here.
Okay.
Um,
Let's say we win mid, but our mid dies, so we're like at this What
I'd
should we
still
play?
play up to force them if they come in.
Okay.
So if you win mid and your medic dies, but everyone else is up,
Mm-hmm.
so we should be looking for a way to force them without just like blindly sacking over and over again.
Okay.
So a good way to do that is making sure that like our soldier is buffed, make sure our spy gets behind, make sure we're playing our sniper on the cross, all that. So if our med dies and they're waiting to regroup, I'm gonna make sure my spy is behind. We'll like call and ask like where our spy is, make sure he's living. Ideally, as they're walking up is when we want to force them or collapse on them. So we might lose some people, but
Yeah.
it's not like we're just saying like let's send 4 people to die and everybody else is gonna go to spawn and then we're gonna wait a minute and a half to do anything.
Yeah.
So if our medic is dead and I know they're gonna have Uber when they come back in, everyone should get a buff as soon as your medic gets here. Nobody should feed because that's not the fight we should be taking, right? We should be taking
Yeah.
the fight as they're walking back in. So whether they come left or whatever, that's fine. If they're coming left, I would just like play like obviously if you're planning to make them use, your medic needs to say where they're gonna leave beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So if your medic is like slope or whatever, your medic is gonna say they're gonna leave slope. If they're main, they're gonna say they're gonna leave main. That way, people are ready to leave the same side as your medic, and they're either looking for soldier bomb or spy on the way out, instead
Okay.
of just running away from their Uber, looking at their Uber just to get backstabbed or bombed.
But generally, we
Um,
should play in Valley instead of your main for that,
yeah,
right?
I don't really like leaving main, unless
Okay,
you
because that's
absolutely have
gay.
to. But
Okay. Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, so when they're walking up, like your sniper can be on the rock, so they're walking into a sniper sight line the whole time. If they're
Mhm.
walking up left, I would just have my spy decloak on them, my soldier bomb their China or their cliff as they look at my sniper, my demo, my, my sniper looking at their soldier by my and them
Anybody?
Here.
like I'm like, one second.
Okay, this one works. I think. Can I?
Fuck review.
Yeah, this one works. This one works.
Happened to
Okay.
that
Kira, can you hear me? Kira? No, I know. Kira, you good? That one shot was just evil.
There's somebody in my walls. Hold on.
Kira?
Nah, bro died. That's crazy.
Nah, evil review.
Dude, these reviews are as scrubbed as our scripts.
Baited.
I love it. I love it when engineer gets mentioned exactly twice.
I mean,
Your
mini
class
sentries are
doesn't fucking
powerful, bro.
matter.
I don't know what you're on about. Mini sentries are fucking annoying and powerful.
Yeah.
So he just told you to
I
play.
mean-
He told you to play Cliff Sentry. What a goat.
On forward.
On
When we're
forwards,
forward.
yeah, on
On
forwards.
forward.
What's up,
I've
Miss?
never actually thought about it. I've always put it on like
Miss!
crates or on.
Or
the
anyways,
other
what you
side.
can
Good, man.
what you can do also is
Miss!
on rollout you can put the
Dude, I
sentry
thought hashtag
and regular.
availability was our
You
schedule.
can
On
put- you put
rollout,
s-
I use my sentry to put like the teleporter on Japan, And then I put the sentry
Mm.
forward to block bombs.
Just put it. I want you to
Yeah.
put the teleporter
be
always
like
in
it-
house.
Just be like Exa, play with sniper on cliff. And
Yeah, just play
snipe.
with, but yeah, sniper playing with sniper is big. Just put your sentry on cliff, and
Mm.
also I always want your teleporter in house, or at least on porch, but I don't want it anywhere else and ever at any other time. Also, who left? Fuck you.
Why
Santiago.
specifically house?
Because if you put it on Japan, you have to like peek shit by dropping down. It's kind of evil. On house or on porch, it's protected by our team.
Mm.
And house, you can't bomb it, and on porch, it's more. I would say it's more vulnerable on porch. Yo, Kira, you good, bro? Okay, yeah, I'll give him a minute. But yeah,
Right.
it's more vulnerable on Japan. It could also get easily bombed, like you know what I mean. The issue with it being on porch is that like a spy can drop down, a soldier can drop down. Whereas if it's in house, they need to walk. Well, they can't like bomb into it. You know, it's in a less vulnerable spot, so your team won't get easily as farmed when they teleport. Yeah, we typed in
I'll
general.
put it there in the beginning, and if it gets sapped way too much, then I'll put it on Japan.
Oh, that's more on your team, but I mean, the spies that'll always target your teleporter no matter fucking what.
Whenever I put it on Japan, it gets sapped like once.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's just a spy being retarded because a good spy will just go to your spawn and zap it from there. I don't know what fucking retard
teleporters
spy.
are not really that important on product, especially.
That's not. This
So,
is
like-
just not true.
Mm.
Actually, factually incorrect.
What did Uncle Dan says? Sentry kill people, dispensary people. teleporter
games. Teleporters win games.
Yeah.
Yo, Kira, my goat.
I don't see the teleporter doing a double
That's
bomb on the medic.
word.
That's tr- Pablo. If you don't get fucking 20 back, if you don't go like 20-1, you're off the roster.
Fuck.
Nice. You're off the roster, bro. Fuck you! Don't even try out. Don't even try out. You're off. Off already.
Wait, that means I am on the roster right now. Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hold on, chat. Is this
Also-
real?
Yeah, this is real. This is real.
Is Kira still dead? You
Yeah,
there?
well, I mean, we have 30 minutes, so we'll just wait for the goat to come back.
Did you guys
That's
even
true.
have any like actual view part yet, or
Yeah, no, we reviewed like we were like 40% through, like 30, 40%. He just kind of died.
By
what's
the
you
way,
guys
miss-
so far?
Like Discord had a stroke, and I don't know what's happening to this guy's computer.
Mhm.
You're
I
my
mean, I was
goat.
talking about the review part.
The review part was pretty good. I felt like I'm learning.
Well, what'd they say?
We're just
Missed
talking.
that
We're just going over fundamentals. So it's just like, you know, how
Okay.
to hold. We're
So
going
who's
over
our coach here? Hero.
new lover.
Sorry,
here.
I went and I was like checking my internet because I thought it was me.
No. It was it was Discord. I moved channels and we're fine.
Okay.
Yes. We were talking about
Yeah, I was talking about
exchange-
exchanges.
exchanges. We're talking about playing on dishead on the point. Oh, we have the point.
Yeah, so
Mm.
you want to take initiative to force them as they walk up, so you don't do it too late. Because like
Yeah.
really it varies per team, but you want to find like there's like a fine line between losing everyone for a force because you're too aggressive, and not losing anyone but not forcing them. So like I said, it's really hard for them to walk up through slope or main because like really both doors are just horrible. Because if your spy is decloaking plus your soldiers bombing, plus they're looking at your sniper, and then your heavy can maybe like play the crates over here to shoot them as they walk up, or maybe he can play on rock.
Mhm.
So this way, like as they walk up to the point, he can still shoot them, but he's still passive enough so he doesn't just get run through in connector. Because the problem is if your combo's
Okay.
playing left to force them as they walk up, your combo can escape, but your concrete players are slow, so they can just like
Mhm.
kill your concrete players. You know, so
Yeah.
they kind of have to leave a little.
And waste
earlier.
time. Yeah, waste time.
But basically, like we can just force them as they walk up and then leave. Or as we see them touch the point, like if we can't do that and we're waiting on spawners, what I like to do is just if we're waiting on some people, I'll call like, okay, as soon as we see their beam, can we sack? So
Okay.
we wait until they walk up. Our spy is like, okay, they're behind rock, whatever. Me and our soldiers sack. We sack before
farm.
they get the cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then my entire team is out. So that
Okay.
way, like
Just
your
the two
soldier
men
and your
with-
demo will die, and your
Yeah.
spy probably, but everybody else can live. And if anyone else dies in the sack, like maybe their medic drops or maybe people die on concrete or whatever, because you sack before they cap, they now have to either delay them or they have to wait, which gives you more cap time.
So we
So
go for
yeah,
the three
really
man
you
there in that
yeah,
situation.
really you can do either of those. You just want to call it preemptively because the worst way that this ends up like failing is like people stay in late or they die late or they get caught in or they don't leave
Okay.
the same way as your medic and they die to spy and shit like
So
that.
I call for the 3 man there. Like I can call 3 man or like play for force.
Yeah,
like-
but just be
What do
more
I-
specific.
Okay.
Okay, if your team is under the impression that sacking when you see their beam means send 3 people, then you don't have to say 3 men. Like your team knows what that means.
Okay.
Right.
I think
Like,
our
okay,
struggle with
our
initial
spy is
fights.
gonna decloak on them as he walks up. Our spy knows that he's involved. Like I don't have to point out my spy.
Okay.
So yeah, you can do that. You can either force them as they walk up, and you can either like try and force them just by pressure, so you make
Mhm.
them use but don't lose people, or you could just sack before they cap. So you will
Mhm.
lose people, but now they will either delay them, so they get longer spawns, you get quicker, so you can just refight fast,
Can
or
you?
they just give you more cap time because they don't want to delay like their medic or whoever else died.
Is it possible to transition from one from the other, like from going to like trying to force, but we've kind of failed that, so we just sack instead?
Yeah, if you're trying to take a dry fight and you see the fight is going bad, I'll just call it a sack. So like if we're trying to force them as they walk up, or just if
Yeah.
they're just trying to dry, like they're planning to walk up without using.
Yeah.
If our medic ends up dying or we like lose our sniper or something like that, I'll just say, okay, the fight's going bad. Can we just sack? And then like
Mhm.
that lets our soldier, spy, and demo know that we're gonna sack. If your heavy's already committed, he can just choose because like if people are already committed, it's better for them to just realize that they're caught in and sack instead of trying to
Mhm.
leave late and now having an extended spawn time, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to stagger them. So if you realize like if you're trying to force them as they walk up and then your medic gets sniped or backstabbed and then everyone starts sighing or whatever, right? Then like
Mhm.
if that's what happens and your medic dies, like just suck it up and be like, okay, our mid's dead. Can we just sack when they walk in? Okay, I'm gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, man. And then
Okay.
you sack and then everyone dies at the same time and they leave.
All right.
So you can transition, but like it's not like I'm saying that ahead of time. Like you're just gonna commit to either of the two ahead of time, and I'll only transition if just something randomly goes wrong, like if our medic dies or something. But really, that shouldn't happen because you guys should be looking for spy and soldier as you're planning to do that, so that your medic doesn't just randomly explode. You know. So yeah. Anyway, whether you force them, whatever, you're gonna lose the point. So if their Uber is way better, or if they have a lot more numbers than you, and I tell literally every team this, it's better for you to reset in spawn than it is to reset close here, because good teams, even teams in like main or advanced or whatever, they'll just try and collapse on any advantage they have.
Yeah.
So if you guys force them and your guys are like, okay guys, let's get out to spawn, right?
Mhm.
If you get out to spawn, but you have people AFKing here because they think it's safe, or people peeking cliff, or people on porch, their spy can literally just say like, yo, there's 2 people on cliff alone. Can you guys go kill them? And you guys will go kill them, right?
Mhm.
But those people are now like dying late. So when your team says to reset in spawn, your entire team resets in the spawn. It's better
Mhm.
to be forward held and get out together than have people die late randomly or get caught
Mhm.
by an Uber.
Yeah.
So that's like a big thing with people who play on concrete is they think that they just can't be pushed over here. Like, oh, I'm not contesting concrete, I'm not in connector, so therefore I'm fine. Like, bro, they will literally just walk main, pinch you from 2 sides, and then the demo will chop off main, and now you're going to be held in your spawn. So it's not good.
Mhm.
My heavy literally had this problem the entire season, where we force them and he just sits here, and then he like gets mad that they're coming to kill him. Like, we cannot help that, right? You're just
Mhm.
feeding. So yeah, you should expect that if you're down a lot of people, or if their Uber is better, or if you sacked and maybe they didn't use, you should expect that just because they're just gonna punish them for AFKing there. And even when you're behind porch, it's not really good to just idle on porch, like to have your medic sit here with a back to a wall, because you
Mhm.
can't really spot a bomb. They could just push your porch or your house. Like if if their sniper is peeking, their demo could just do this, right? So it's not
Yeah.
really worth just AFKing here. So if you lose a lot of people, it's better to reset like back here if we can. That way, if we see them forward, if they're not forward, then we can just come out. But if we see
Mhm.
them trying to get forward, we're like, okay, yeah, we have to back up, meet our spawners. They're trying to forward hold us, and now okay, we can reset and spawn.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then
yeah,
yeah.
what are you saying?
Or we struggle with getting out of the forward hold. So like, even if we have all our spawners, we just kind of like die like retards. So like, what do we do about that? Like, how do
Yeah,
we
when
get
I
out of
was
this
playing
forward
Spy, I
hold?
was trying to call it, but I didn't want to like micro like a team I'm like ringing for. So
Yeah, I know.
basically, you want to show one doorway and go out through another.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have to do that and you can just commit through one door, that's fine. Basically, you want to get out a door fast. But if they're already meeting it, then you have to just bait them to going to one so you can run to the other. So normally, what
Okay.
I like to do is show cliff and then go grass. And
Okay.
as a team, you kind of have to understand that showing a door is different than rushing through. If we're showing our presence on cliff, right, we should watch for spy here, watch for spy here. They should have people calling it. So when you're getting forward held, it should look something like this. Like their demo should be here, scout, medic should be around him, right? Sniper should be like here or something. Soldier or NG will be on cliff with spy, and then your heavy will be on this box. So when you guys are getting forward held, that's what they're doing. If you come main, right, they're obviously all here watching it. So don't just default to main. All right.
Mm.
If they come through grass, right, they're going to rotate over here and you're going to start doing this. So the easiest one to show through is cliff, because
Yeah.
if they're all hard stacking concrete, they can't get to cliff fast enough before you're already set up. But if they do, and their demo's over here and they're syncing on cliff, then what we can do is basically we'll say, okay, let's show cliff. So we bring their demo over to it because their soldier, NG, spy are going to say like, yo, their combo's cliff, their combo's cliff. So they're going to be walking over to this door. So we want to show our presence, maybe kill the mini, whatever, peek. Their demo will be walking over here, and now we go back. And our soldier will pretty much just be whipping us back and forth.
Okay.
So your soldier is going to whip your combo back and forth, and your heavy is going to sit here. Your heavy does not have to move because he's going to be the guy that's going to swing out grass with you. So your heavy will just literally sit here and just make sure you don't get wrapped in your spawn. Your soldier is going to whip you guys back and forth, so you bait them to cliff. And now that they're on cliff, you're going to say, okay, let's rush out grass. Your NG can stay with your sniper in main. So when they go grass, right, they have to walk into this sight line to meet you. So your sniper will peek this. Okay.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to walk out of it. He literally just has to sit here scoped up. Because when they rotate over to meet you guys, they are walking into your sniper sight line.
Yeah.
And then your NG or whatever, maybe even your soldier, can just sit here so that they can't see your sniper. Or if they try running at him, then they get like rocketed or whatever.
Yeah.
And then for the people on grass, you just have to commit. So you're probably going to die. But literally, your pyro just goes first to reflect the initial spam and to air blast their heavy back. And then your heavy swings, and then your demo and scout and medic all swing out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't bait when you're doing that. Like, you just have to go. So it's like, okay, get ready to swing out grass. Okay, I'm going to swing grass. Okay, swing now. Our pyro goes first, heavy goes behind him, and we just get out the door. If you're like baiting the spam and all that, your pyro and heavy are going to die, and now you guys just let them die for nothing, or you're just going to sit there.
Okay.
So we just like blow them back, start swinging through grass. Okay. If we have to use and it's game in exchange, then we just use out the door. If both teams have Uber and we're gonna use, don't send them first because there's no point in letting them die. Just use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how you would normally get out of that hold. There's really no way you can go main because they're all sitting there and it's a tiny doorway.
Yeah.
The only other way that you can get out of it is if you say show cliff and you come through and you kill their spy and you realize they're not even here, just commit to cliff and just come through.
Okay.
You know, most of the time, good teams will be meeting you there already. But if they're too slow or too far away, or if their demo is dead or whatever, if your combo and sniper are able to get through cliff, just keep going through cliff. There's no reason to double back if they're not meeting you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about is the importance of like knowing the difference between showing and committing.
Mhm.
And really, if you even like think that they're forward holding your team, then just don't risk it and let your spy walk out, right? Like
Yeah.
if they kill 5 people and now they have ad and you like hear them getting forward or whatever, don't just, and this is literally for anyone on your team, is literally just like don't blindly roll out thinking everything is okay. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go porch like I normally do, and then you walk into like stickies and now you're dead late, and now you know they're forward holding, but now your team has to wait for you again, right? Like
Yeah.
if they're up a lot of people, or if they have good time, or if they have ad or whatever, it's better safe than sorry to just let our spy cross. Our spy will call if they're forwarding, and then we'll worry about that. That way,
Mhm.
people don't just blindly like autopilot, run into people forwarding, die, and then we have to now spend our time staggering. That's a
Yeah.
big issue my team had on Brute. So like, if people are in fucking high invite are doing it, then people in literally any div can do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, just don't autopilot and walk out of your spawn.
I'm
Um,
still mad about Swiftwater. They didn't deserve that shit, bro. It's fucked up. It's fucked
Fuck
up.
that, what they did to you, man.
Fucked up on Swiftwater was fucked up, man. Swiftwater.
Well, we
Lazing the
just-
invite players.
we just staggered really bad and bled from point to point because that team is dog shit and we lost to them. But
Think Witness
or at
Gaming
least
is
I know
dog
they're
shit.
They're like yeah, they're like frauds because they had Jacob play for them. But if it weren't for Jacob, Exile would have called every push in a horrible way. Anyway, so once you're actually out of your forward, whatever, a good way to retakes, like if you're pushing the point now,
Mhm.
even if you have ad, is if they're forwarding on your concrete, you can send your sniper and someone cliff. So this way your sniper can shoot at the concrete players for you.
Yeah.
And he'll kill the people on concrete, allowing your concrete players to walk.
Yeah.
So what you could maybe do, and your sniper doesn't even have to always go cliff to do that. Your sniper could just maybe like walk porch with you guys and just look to the right and see them. But if they're forwarding on your concrete, remember, before every push, make sure everyone gets buffs. We should buff our concrete players like last because everyone else is going to have the beam. So just make sure your concrete people are buffed. Make sure they don't peek before you. And basically, you'll peek cliff and porch, shoot at the concrete players when you come in, thus allowing your people on concrete and connector to walk. Because if they go first, they're going to get nuked, die, and then they're going to go behind you. So if they're forwarding on your concrete, your spy, or whatever we'll call that, you'll peek left, your sniper will peek cliff. Their concrete players will get headshot or weak, or they'll back up, or they'll die, and then your concrete players will push off that. But if your sniper doesn't want to go cliff, he can just walk with your combo, because he can pretty much just see the same thing. Because even
Okay.
if he does go cliff, if he goes cliff, kills 2 people, he can just drop down, and now he's walking with you, right? Just know that it's kind of like a second delay because your combo is further away than your concrete players are, right? Like if your combo is walking, you guys have more distance between you and them than your concrete players do. So if your concrete players walk at the same time as
Yeah.
you guys can't even reach them before your concrete players have died. So it's kind of like a mental thing, just kind of like wait a second or two, and then your concrete guys will go.
Okay.
So yeah. So like if you're just playing to take a dry, whatever, right? Like if they're playing up on point, we'll just meet them. If they're doing the forward thing, like I said that they would maybe do to you,
Mhm.
it's probably better to go slope than it is concrete because they're going to be forwarding that anyway. And our sniper will just peek cliff or China to see their medic and players like playing up on the pallet or the right side.
Mhm.
So I prefer pushing slope 90% of the time than like in contrast to main. Because main, I feel
Okay.
like it's just really easy to get spammed out. And like you don't always have to go left. Like if you realize your people on right are like dying all the time, it's like okay to go through main. Or if you're fast and you don't want to rotate all the way around, just bait the sticks and come through main. I just don't like doing this all the time because at some point, if they're meeting you left and your conquer player is getting rolled, you have to swap something.
Mhm.
So yeah, like we'll just like come to the point. If they're hiding, I'll just tell my scout and pyro to edge the cap. And a lot of times you can like force teams into peeking you. If they're hiding really bad, you can just force teams into peeking you by instead of like. So if a team is playing really far back and they're hiding, most people in invite say they're playing like help because that just means that you chill back and you just do nothing. But really, what that's doing is you're killing the people who overextend, and then you're just like running down the clock off of people overextending. Okay, so if you're playing against a team that's hiding, don't shove people into them for them to die. Okay, like
Yeah.
put them in a position where they have to peek you. So if they're hiding and their sniper's behind rock or porch or even if he's cliff, whatever, if we just get our scout and pyro like buffed or tanked to edge the point, now we're capping, our sniper is set up, our soldier can bomb, or he's spamming, our demo is spamming, so they're getting spammed, peeked by sniper, and the cap is being pressured as well. So they have to do something or they're gonna lose the point, right?
Yeah.
So then they peek out, and they peek out into stickies and into a sniper and all that, right? So if they're
Mhm.
hiding and they're playing really passive, I'll just like spam behind rock, whatever. I'll just like tell my scout and pyro to edge the cap. My medic will tank them because they're going to be the ones being shot at the most. We're just going to pressure whoever shoots at the point, and we might even cap without them ever peeking, right? And you can play the game slow like that. But really, like that's a better alternative into just like they're hiding. Let's send 6 people into them to overextend and die, which is exactly
Yeah.
what they want. I don't know. That's kind of what I was saying. Is like when I was like ringing is like taking the initiative to do something instead of just expecting the other team to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, they might have ad, but that doesn't mean you should just expect them to just waste it and use into you because you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to pressure them out. But if they are all hiding and you guys want to just step onto the point collectively, like if you have ad, just collectively stand on the point, right? Even if you have like,
Mhm.
or if it's OT or whatever, nobody should be chasing kills. We're just gonna come to the point collectively and cap. So if they try like walking into you, like you've got a demo and a heavy and an NG and a scout and a pyro on point, plus your medic is on point, buffing all of them, like it's so hard to run away from that and then walk back in into like the entire 9-man team on the point looking at you, right?
Yeah.
Your team has to be on the same page for that.
Mhm.
So I guess really like the only other thing that I didn't really specify is like, I mean, I guess I talked about sacking, talked about repushing, getting out of
Yeah.
spawn. For general exchanges, even though I talked about the defensive ones, just for offensive exchanges, it's basically the same thing. Just don't push connector during the trade, and then if you can, shoot connector in your trade. So I'll always,
Mhm.
when I'm calling an exchange, I'm going to call who I want in it, I'm going to call where we're exchanging, and then I'm going to call where I want to end. And your team just has to understand that when the Uber ends is not the same thing as when your post fight has started. Okay.
Mhm.
So what I mean is like your Uber ends, but your soldier might have to get an arrow before he can bomb. Or your Uber
Yeah.
ends, but your sniper and demo might need bows, right? So I'm gonna call like, okay, like if we're gonna come to main, I would literally just talk like this. I'll be like, okay, pop to main, pop to main. Okay, we used. Okay, I'm shooting right side. Their concrete's actually kind of weak. Their concrete's kind of weak. Okay, I'm gonna end right side in 2 seconds. Like pretty much like that. And then when
Yeah.
their Uber is ending, I'll just say like post now, and then that lets our team know when they start walking. Because whether it's
Okay.
offensive or defensive, like you don't want them to be in before you guys are ready. If their Uber is slightly longer and you say your Uber is ending and they push,
Mhm.
they just walk into Uber players and they die. So your team
Yeah.
has to like be on the same page for that, you know. Oh my god, my friend is sipping. Yeah, so just make sure that when you're calling your post, your players on concrete or cliff are ready, like wherever they're coming from.
Mhm.
And just make sure that they're aware that they're going to be coming in the post fight, not during the Uber. Because it's
Yeah.
also good whether you're scout or heavy or pyro or demo or whatever, whoever is involved in these Ubers, if you realize there's like people here when you guys are Ubering, just kill them. Same thing with crits, right? Like I'm a big fan of like critsing to kill a sniper and people in connector than just constantly thinking you have to shoot the medic in the crits. Okay. Because if we crits and we kill their sniper, our team can walk. That to me is still a good crits. Because if we crits and kill their sniper, we can peek as wide as we want, and we can just force them to use, back up, and come back in. So even if you're on crits, which I love running crits on product and Asheville, it's not like you have to
Mhm.
just tunnel their medic and their combo every time with crits, you know?
Yeah.
So if we kill their sniper with the crits, or not even if we kill their sniper, but if they use and we crits, we'll say like my team will sometimes call for me if I don't know they're there, like shoot connector with the crits. Kill the connector players, and we've still created an advantage for ourselves. So you really just want to be like in sync. Like your soldier, demo, spy, and heavy really want to be in sync on this map for when you're pushing. That's like your biggest thing. So you want to make sure there's like good coordination between like really like one person on your flank will kind of like talk for them more. It's probably going to be your
Mhm.
spy, because if he can decloak on connector or whatever, he can tell them and they can just do that. That means they can do that without your demo having to call literally everything. But your demo just has to make sure he's also on the same page. So that's kind of like what's going to win you most of these fights is making sure you guys have like the right timing for pushes, but the right timing for
Mhm.
post fights as well. You know, um, and like Uber exchanges will be like half the fights you take on this map, maybe like even 70%. So, yeah. Trying to think what else I didn't mention, because the only thing I didn't mention was like forward holding, which I kind of did explain what they would be doing to you, but it's literally just
Yeah.
like just if they're not coming cliff, okay,
Mhm.
and your soldier is on cliff, just have him play over here. Because one
Yeah.
thing that Winners Gaming does to me is when we're forwarding, their sniper peeks main. Your
Uh-huh.
scout could normally run at him, but your sniper could look at it too. And of course, they're going to be looking at your heavy and demo the most. Their pyro, what they could do is have the soldier bomb through, which you guys can do this too. Their soldier will bomb through
Mhm.
grass, and the pyro will reflect the demo spam. But to counter that, if your soldier is doing nothing on cliff, he can just bomb like this. So, like, if your NG and spy are on cliff, and your soldier, my game is like freezing because I'm streaming. But if your soldier
Mhm.
isn't doing anything on cliff in that moment, then he can just go help grass. So if your scout is looking on the right side, your soldier can drop down to main and 2-rocket their sniper. Because really, a lot of time, if you're good at holding the grass spawn, the one thing that a lot of people fall to is sniper peeking main and like killing your medic or your heavy or your demo or something. Because you can't forward without a medic, obviously, but you most definitely can't forward without a demo. You know. Um, so yeah, just making sure that you guys are actually like watching main. Your sniper can sit here and watch it too. Like if your sniper wants to just watch main, and maybe you want to have your NG play over here or whatever, then your heavy doesn't have to worry about getting headshot, and their sniper can't just peek it for free. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Unless there's like something specific. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's really based around your team because, like, by default, you're just gonna come over here and you're gonna do this, right? But like, it depends on how your team wants to play. If you're a team that like once you guys want play more product scrims, you're like, okay, like I would experiment with like playstyles, right? Like, okay, maybe you are a fast team where you should be bombing their China, right? Like you'll whip their heavy to concrete, you'll go like this, you'll bomb their China, and then you spam them as they start as your team walks, right? If you guys prefer that, you could do that. Like those are like faster mids, right? Where you bomb and your entire team walks off the fact that you're bombing, right? I'm assuming you were talking about yourself. Um, yeah, if that doesn't work out for you guys, and you guys are a slow team, right, where you play to kill the feeders, if they're rushing you in concrete a lot, like let's say you bomb and you don't get anything, but then 3 people come through concrete and kill your heavy, and he starts saying like, I literally can't play concrete at all, they're all going to kill me, then instead of bombing to initiate, just chill here, and when they come through concrete, you can spam them, and then you and your heavy can take that fight, right? So I don't really think it's like a linear like there's really no way that like one particular class should be playing like a certain way this entire time on this map, right? But I would just like experiment to see what works. Like if you prefer on mids, even if you like going fast, if you want to like whip your sniper to cliff or whip your heavy to cliff, I mean, you guys can do like left side mids. So you can whip your heavy to cliff, you can bomb past that, your heavy will walk dog bread with your combo, and you will start doing this, right? You could try that. Like there's like a lot of options, but I prefer for my team to play fast than to play slow. And it's partly just because I think playing slow is really boring. Like sometimes it is
Kind of true.
well, sometimes it is the appropriate way to play. Because literally the way that my team beat help on product is literally just like okay, like Witness Gaming lost to them like 4-2. And then literally the following week we beat them 4-1. And it's just because Witness Gaming would constantly try to initiate. So they send their soldier fast to get onto their sniper, but they counter by having an NG on like China or Japan and then a heavy on cliff.
Yeah.
So right, like if Witness Gaming doesn't adapt, they're just sending their soldier to die into 3 people protecting their sniper over and over again.
Yeah.
So you can vary per team, but I just personally think playing faster and taking initiative is more fun than just chilling back and doing nothing.
Okay.
But you know, sometimes your soldier kind of has to do that just to help your heavy out. You know.
Benry, do the epic bomb on mids, bro. You win these
Yeah, do that.
concrete bombs. You win
So
that
you can
shit.
play like that. But another good thing to make sure that you're doing not only on mids but also just in general is good communication with your spy. So like it's not like you have to have your spy call every single one of your bombs, you know, but if I were playing soldier, I would pretty much just like ask my spy every like like not literally every 5 seconds, right? But like pretty much just like asking over and over again where their sniper is or where their spy is. So if your soldier, demo, and spy are on the same page for where you're walking, who you're decloaking or bombing, if your demo is calling to just like play spam and you're like you guys play slow and you hard spam targets as they're walking up, a lot of times you can get kills and force people just out of having really good focus targets and spam, right?
Yeah.
Like they're getting looked at by sniper, heavy, soldier, and like pipes and all that, right? A lot of times you can get like good kills or forces without ever actually having to bomb and die for it. Same thing for your spy. So just like making sure you guys are like on the same page for that is probably your biggest asset on this map.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Thank you.
When do I use the crits?
It's really just like up to like your demo. It's not really like a like you don't want to just like randomly go crits. It's just kind of like I don't know. It's kind of just like a preference thing. Really, your demo should be the one calling it, because even if like you don't want to be the kind of medic who's just like,
Guys,
damn,
I'm
I
going
can't.
crits.
Like no, just like you don't want to be like, damn, I can't get a single Uber. Guess I better go crits, right? Like that's just like bad to think like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just kind of like really like if their med dies on mid, like a good time to go crits is if let's say both medics die on mid. Okay, if both medics die on mid and they win the mid and you guys have to repush, going crits is fine, because if both medics are spawning at the same time but crits builds faster than Uber, you guys will still have ad, right? So that like you can kind of just like pay attention to stuff like that, right? Like, oh shit, both medics died, but we're on offense. Let's just go crits, right? Or if you're like, if they're gonna like if the clock is running down, right? If it's like 30 seconds and you know you don't have enough time to build an Uber in 30 seconds, you could go crits, like things like that,
Mhm.
you know.
Alright.
Really just the biggest thing is like if you ever do go crits, or if you're unsure about like their medics percentage or whatever, if both of you die, just ask your spy, because that'll generally help you. If you never know the percent or their medigun, or if you think they have ab but don't know the exact number, just be like, yo, spy, can you spot their beam? And then he'll say yeah, and he'll tell you their percent, and you can make your decision off that.
All right.
But most of the time, your demo is going to ask for it.
Okay. Uh,
Is that
Yeah.
is that everything or?
Yeah,
I think that's most of everything. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone got any questions for where they should be with where they should stand at certain game states?
No, I just know we. What's the best way to take out the sniper on the rollouts? Because I feel like we kind of don't. We either don't call out where that sniper is, or we take too long to figure out where he is, and he ends up getting a really valuable pick.
Well, I kind of said this at the start, but like, if you don't know where their sniper is, it's better to just call aside and take the risk of walking into their sniper and like trade kills. Excuse me. Better to just like take the risk of walking to their sniper and trade kills. So if like really like your scout, sniper, soldier, and spy will be spotting their sniper on the mid, but if you can't wait for that, like I'm not gonna lie, like I just like coin flip my mids. Like I just call. I'm just like I'm feeling like going left, so I just go left, right? And even if their sniper is porch, we just keep walking into him. So it's like fine if you guys want to wait a second and you spot their sniper and your demo makes a call, that's fine. But if not, if you like wait a second and you don't hear the call or no one says it or nobody sees him, you want to still choose a side, right? If you spend too much time trying to focus on where their sniper is and you play fearful of like, we're not going to walk unless I 100% know where their sniper is at all times, right? They're going to walk and you're going to lose. Okay. So, like, most of the time, like, really, it's like your scout, soldier, spy, sniper who can spot it, especially your spy, because you can just see it on the cross. But if you can't see it at all, just call aside, because it's better to walk into their sniper with your sniper behind you to take SVS and you guys trade out kills than it is to play the game so fearful of sniper that you let them walk and you don't do anything, right?
Miss Noob. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Like I don't like respecting snipers unless they're like Lenny. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
Lenny is unfortunate, bro. That shit was
but like
tragic.
you kind of just also like, and you guys will kind of like realize like as a team, like everything I'm saying, like some things may not be the case for you guys at all, but you kind of like realize as a team like okay, if you set up a weekly with a certain team and you know their sniper always goes cliff, it's probably better to walk Dogbread because you know that he's going to be cliff every single time, right? So you can't always guarantee, but the more you play it and the more your team experiments with pacing and whatnot, you'll realize like, okay, this guy always goes cliff. Okay, our right side mids are better, and that'll help you guys gauge these mids before you even like see where their sniper is. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So medic should pick sniper at all times. Got it. Locked in. Locked in. All right.
Yeah,
So
but really
that's
this
why
map
I
is
like-
like
That's my only concern. Is you just said not to respect the sideline, but at the same time, I'm probably going to.
Oh,
Like,
I'm real.
I base my playing off of where that sniper is typically.
I mean,
Bro,
but he
I'll-
just told you
alright.
not to do that. I mean, if you're playing with your sniper and playing with your team, If their sniper's dead, then sure,
No,
don't
I'm
peek
saying
him.
I'll
Alright.
do it this time, but it's probably not gonna go as well.
You gotta,
And I'm gonna tell you I told you so.
Yeah, what is Heavy doing mage,
I
bro?
mean, I would listen to Kira. I mean, he just told you, like, if you don't know where he
We'll,
is, just
we'll,
interview.
we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I trust.
I'm hearing the
This,
Yeah,
this
but-
goes against all my teachings, so
I trust
We're
Mr.
just
Squirt
gonna see
Yay over Van
I trust
Deer.
Mr. Invite
Do you
more than
trust-
your
do you trust
noob
Max?
team.
I trust Invite over Advanced. I'm sorry.
Do you trust poop maxing?
I feel like a demo knows more about positioning. Not gonna lie. That's true. I also trust this guy.
Guys,
You know what I
trust
say?
me. Just
I
fun.
say, how many of us have some built-up tension over the day? Just a little bit.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, fuck
Shut
Sam.
the fuck up. I mean, who here went to work all day? Just
Not.
I'm gonna
I
play.
mean,
you know what I mean?
No.
No,
Nah, we're on
okay.
no lives.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maybe Miss went to
I was
work.
trying to figure out if anyone wanted to scream with me. That's all.
No, I'm
That's
good.
okay.
You got
I-
any screamers?
Do we
No
have a 9:30?
screamers.
No,
Yes.
I do that. I do that
Yes.
in casual when I get
The
pissed.
9:30. The connect is up for 9:30.
Miss, are
Okay.
you going?
Hmm?
Miss, are you going to play tonight or?
yeah, I'll play that.
Okay.
All right.
Every night, my parents.
Oh, Miss, this isn't what
downstairs,
Kira says,
they'll
and it
run
doesn't
through.
work. We can adjust next scrim, but I mean, I think I trust what this man
Guys,
is
let's all
saying.
contradict what Kira said right now.
Yeah, everyone just
no.
fucking play like retards.
Go sit in
Hold
the
up.
corner and jack off.
No,
just
I,
do fucking
I
nothing the
respect
whole
that he
night.
does it, but at the same time, he is not a medic player. So that's that.
He
my
is,
only
he is
gripe.
an invite demo. I would.
Will you shut the? Who the fuck is questioning Kira?
Not
Raise
This
your
questioning
hand
guy,
right
this
now.
guy
Just
trusts
telling
Van
you.
Deer. This guy trusts
Raise-
Van Deer
yeah,
over
raise your
Kira.
fucking hand in the Discord, VC. Who the
Miss,
fuck?
Miss, it's
Miss,
Miss.
go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Miss, you're getting swapped out for
I'm
Rez.
so
You're getting
fucking
swapped out.
smart. I'm an amateur fucking Highlander player. I know my shit.
Yo,
I know
who's
what
the
you gotta-
fucking
I
source?
am
No, no,
fucking-
no,
this
wait,
fucking
hold
this
on.
main ass
Evil.
No, the
fool,
server whitelist, the
fucking-
server whitelist.
this fucking
Whose
invite
server is
ass
this?
player.
Whose
Who
server
the
is
fuck
this?
is this guy? Jesus
Yo, whose
Christ.
server is this?
He definitely
Invite
himself.
You got
Kira.
the
He
sixes
definitely
whitelist on this shit.
He definitely,
You got the
he can't
sixes
hear you.
whitelist.
He can't.